Many Americans could see smaller tax refunds than expected next year. This comes as many pandemic relief programs are set to expire. The average refund for the 2021 tax year around $3,200. That was 14% higher than the previous year. The CBS News MoneyWatch Associate Managing Editor Aimee Picchi, I haven't said your name in a while, has the latest on the tax updates. Aimee, it's good to see you. Picchi.
Hey, good to see you too.
Coming with the good news, I see, on this Monday morning. Exactly just which programs are set to expire?
Yeah, so there are a few programs that are actually expiring or have expired, and some that were kind of supercharged during the pandemic, but now are reverting, or in 2022 reverted back to their prior smaller footprints. So the big one that everybody probably knows about it are the stimulus checks. There were 3 of them, and the last one was in 2021, which means that tax credit was actually a tax credit, isn't available for taxpayers in 2022. And another one that millions of people benefited from was the child tax credit, which was expanded in 2021 to up to $3,600 per child. Now, this year, 2022, the child tax credit still exists, but it reverted back to its prior form, which is $2,000 per child. So parents will get smaller tax refunds, possibly because they have smaller tax credits for this from this benefit. Another one that simply expired was the charitable deduction, which allow people who don't itemize, who just take the standard deduction, to write off $300 for a single taxpayer, $600 for married taxpayers if they gave to charity. And that also helped because that reduces your income and it can lower your taxes. And that is simply expired. So that's not available to people who don't itemize anymore. And then there are a few others that have reverted to smaller forms as well. The earned income tax credit benefited single people without children. That tripled in 2021. That's reverted back to its prior form. And there's the child and dependent care tax credit, which was up to $8,000 per family. And that's back down to about $2,100 per family this year. So, there are a number of people who might see smaller tax refunds when they file in early 2023.
So then perhaps some good news. Is there anything that Americans can do to increase their refund and reduce their tax bill?
Yeah, absolutely. So, right now, the last few weeks of the year, it's actually time to check in and see, well, what steps can I take? And one thing you can do is contribute to your retirement fund. If you have a 401k, if you have an IRA, consider contributing more money to those funds, because those are, you participate on those in a tax deductible basis, which basically means every dollar you put in reduces your taxable income. So that's one way to save for retirement and reduce your tax liability. And another thing, if you have investments this year, chances are you've lost money somewhere. You can take a loss on an investment and you can deduct up to $3,000 of those losses against your income. So it's another way to reduce your liability. So think about those types of steps that you can take before the end of the calendar year, but you really need to be aware that, many of these steps need to be taken by December 31st.
Yeah, every little bit counts. So how will next tax season be adjusted for inflation?
Yeah. So, every year the IRS adjusts its provisions for inflation. That means like the tax brackets go up, the standard deduction goes up, the amount you can put into your 401k or your IRA goes up based on inflation. Now, the thing is that this year's 2022's inflation adjustments were made a year ago before inflation really picked up. So we're really not going to see the big boost until the 2023 tax year because those inflation adjustments were just made. And in 2023, tax brackets, 401k contributions, they all go up about 7%, which is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, inflation adjustments that we've seen in decades. So, next year, you're probably going to see some benefit in your withholding or, when you pay your taxes, but you might not really feel that benefit until you're into the tax year and when you file in early 2024. So it's a little bit of a wait for that one.
Well, we just hit people with a ton of information they should know, Aimee. They can head to the CBS News website and find your article there. Aimee Picchi, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me on.